Hi guys, welcome to another fun craft time with Miss Sarah. Today we're going to be making this super fun little snowman. So for this craft, I will be using some type of, you need a piece of paper. I'm going to be using blue construction paper. You can make the background any color that you like. If you have lined paper, that's fine. You can just use your crayons and color it whatever color you like. You can use, you can make it black or blue or purple, whatever you want your background color to be. So you'll need a piece of construction paper. And I also have some little bits and pieces here of construction paper that I'm going to be using for the various pieces of the snowman. So if you just have bits and pieces, that's going to work absolutely fabulous for this craft. We're also going to need some glue. So I have this liquid glue. I do not recommend using a glue stick for this craft. You're going to need a liquid glue of some kind. I recommend a super good pair of scissors. Now for the outlining of the snowman, I'm going to be using this cup. If you have one of these, just regular cup is fine. Anything that has that circle shape that you can trace. So if you have a cup at home, maybe it's a little bit smaller than this or bigger than this, that's fine. You can adjust your paper. Or if you just want to freehand draw your circles, you can do that too. And then to make the body of the snowman, we're going to be using these cotton balls. I love cotton balls. They're so fun to work with. And they have so many awesome uses, all right? Okay, you guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you get those materials gathered up, and I will meet you back here in just a moment, and we'll get started with our craft. Okay, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So I've got my paper here, my construction paper, and this is gonna be my background here. And I forgot to tell you that we're gonna need a pencil. So if you wanna pause the video right here while you go and get your pencil, you can do that, okay? Now to get started, I'm gonna go ahead and this circle part is gonna be the body of my snowman. So I'm gonna put it here and here. The bottom two circles are gonna be this part. The top for the head, I'm gonna use this part of the cup. So I'm gonna start with tracing the bottom of the cup. I'm gonna put it kind of high on my paper. Put it about there, I think. And you're just gonna take your pencil and just push it against the edge, bring it all the way around the cup. So you should have something, and if you go a little bit over the edge, that's okay, you can just erase it. It's not really gonna show once you get the cotton balls on there. But you should have something that looks kind of like that. Now I'm gonna use this wider part of the cup coming down, and I want it to overlap just a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna put the cup edge right next to that head part. Try to get it about center. And remember, it's okay if it overlaps. You kind of want it to overlap a little bit. Okay, so I've got that. Show something that looks kind of like that. And then I'm gonna do one more circle at the bottom. And again, it's okay if it overlaps a little bit. You're not gonna see any of these lines once you get your, once you actually get your snowman. You start putting the cotton balls on there, you're actually not gonna see any of these pencil lines. So don't worry about that. If you don't get it exactly perfect, it's not a big deal. So you should have something that looks kind of like that. So we've got our three circles going down, smaller one at the top for the head. Now we're gonna start gluing on, set your pencil and your cup aside, we're gonna start gluing on the snowballs. And you can do this one of two ways. When I did my original one that I'm gonna show you in the example, I left the snowballs whole. I didn't like kind of pull them apart. And down here though, for the snow at the bottom, I did kind of pull them apart. So you can either do that like this, or you can do it the way I'm gonna show you today. So for today, what I'm gonna do is put a dot of glue. I'm just gonna get kind of a section of glue kind of see that section of glue I have going, and then I'm actually going to pull this apart a little bit. And the best way is to, you'll see that it's kind of rolled, so you want to turn it on its side and just pull it very gently like I'm doing. See how I can get it to kind of open up? And I'm going to let that be the head right there. I'll use less cotton balls doing it this way, and I'll still get the exact same results. So again, I'm just going to put some glue right there. You can see I've got glue again, and I'm going to get another cotton ball. You can see when you're looking at it, it makes kind of a square shape, so I'm going to turn it sideways, and I'm just going to pull it ever so gently apart, like that. All right, so I've got that going, and now I think I need one more. So I'm going to turn it sideways, pull it ever so gently, and fill in some glue along this open area. Now, if you don't want to do it this way and you want to just put a dot of glue and put your snowball, a dot of glue and put your snowball, your cotton ball, and a dot of glue and a cotton ball, you can do it that way too. That's fine too. I'm spreading it out a little bit just to conserve my cotton balls, but you can do it any way that you feel comfortable with, okay? Now I'm going to do the same thing again down here. I'm going to get my glue on there. Pull it apart. Get his body going. He's looking good over here. Just filling out. Sometimes they try to jump, so watch out for jumping snowballs. It's kind of a sticky craft too, so be prepared for that. Kind of sticky. Notice too, I'm kind of feeling as I go, you can do it all the way around and then get the middle, but I just feel like it works better to kind of start from one edge and then kind of work your way across the circle. Kind of working across my circle right now. And if you end up pulling a little bit too hard, it's not a big deal. The great thing about cotton balls is that you can kind of squish them. You can kind of just squish them back the way that they were originally. So that kind of works really, really well for that. All right, now I'm gonna work on this next part. Put some glue right there. We are coming right along here. I think I'm gonna end up needing more cotton balls too. I'm gonna pull it really, really gently. This is looking great. This is honestly the most time-consuming part of this whole craft. Just gonna pull it apart again. Going right there. Oh, excuse me. I don't know if anybody else has been noticing that this weather is just making my nose feel kind of itchy and tickly. All right, this is coming along quite well, I think. I'm really liking that. I'm going to add a little bit of extra glue here, just to hold that little piece. Okay. Get some more cotton balls out. Put a little bit extra. Oh, excuse me. My goodness. Let's see if I can get a little tiny bit right here, just to kind of fill that in a little bit. A little bit for right there. And I think I want maybe one more little piece for right here in the corner. I just feel like I want all of that covered up. Okay. Now that we have our snowman all filled in here, we're gonna go ahead and make the snow at the bottom. So we're gonna use the same technique, and we'll start, actually let's just start right here under the snowman. We'll just put some glue here. Get a cotton ball and just pull it apart ever so gently, just like we've been doing, and we'll set that there. Don't worry if the bottom hangs a little bit off the edge of the paper. That's actually kind of perfect, because you definitely want to create that look of snowiness. So it's okay, you don't really want any of the blue showing at the bottom anyhow, so it's okay if it hangs off a little bit, that's all right. And if you have a little bit of blue showing at the very bottom, that's okay too. There is no perfect way to do this. There's just what happens. However it looks is how it's supposed to look. Don't worry about it. Remember, like I always say, all of your crafts are unique and special because you're unique and special. No two crafts are ever going to come out exactly the same. They can't. Because I'm not you and you're not me. So we're always going to have some different craft results, and that's okay. That's exactly how it should be. It's an awesome thing. So for this one, I'm gonna let it have kind of a little snowdrift right there, I think. And a snowdrift is like a little pile of snow as it falls from the sky. Sometimes you'll notice it makes like little hills, and you'll see that, and they call that a little snowdrift, where it just kind of all drifts down right there. You just kind of get a little bit of a, like a little bit of a mountain kind of. It's just the way it works out. I'm gonna put a little bit more right here. It's up to you. You can stop there or you can keep going. However high you want to make your snow level in your picture here. It's really up to you. I think I want to go one more up. Make him look kind of like that. Okay, kind of like that. I think that looks pretty good. A little bit of blue right there. Right on the edge. There I go. Right, and now that's making me feel like I do want to fill that in after all. So I'm going to get kind of a small one, pull them apart a little. Just fill that in. All right. There we go. Yay! That looks really good. We've got our little snowman all filled in there. So there's our basic snowman shape. You can see that. Your paper might be kind of heavy, and that's okay. It should be, because these cotton balls, they're very, very light, but when you put them on that paper plus the glue, it gets kind of heavy, so that's all right. All right, so we're all done with our cotton balls. We're gonna go ahead and set those aside. So now we need to make some eyes and a nose and a mouth for our snowman. So So I think for that, the easiest thing to do for me, I like to make square eyes and square mouth using little squares. So I'm gonna need a total of 6 squares for this. And what I'm gonna do is cut this little scrap of paper that I have. I'm gonna make 2 rectangles or 2 strips like that. You can just cut, and it doesn't matter if they're not exactly the same size, but you just want 2 strips of paper like that. And these we're gonna make into squares for eyes. So let's see, I'm gonna make 1 eye, 2 eyes. So I like to lay things out before I glue them so I can see how it's going to look. So there's my eyes. Now, I'm thinking that I really only need about 4 squares for my mouth. You don't have to make squares. If you want to cut this into a little smiley face, you can do that. It's whatever you want to do. I'm going to make some little squares for my mouth. I'm going to use about 4, I think. So I will have 1, 2, 1. I'm gonna put my eyes a little further up. 2, 3, and 4. Eyes a little further up. Like that. Oh wow, I think that looks pretty good. Now I need a nose. And normally, what do you use for a nose in a snowman? Do you know? It's a vegetable. It's crunchy, and it is what color? Orange. So I love square or rectangle construction paper because this edge is perfect for the carrot part that sticks out of the snowman, and you can actually just cut an angle to make that nose that you want to make. So I'm just gonna hold it by the corner and I'm just gonna cut it straight down at an angle. Like that. So I end up with that when I'm done, which is kind of perfect. And you can make it bigger or smaller, however you want to do it. And that's gonna go right there, coming out of the center of my snowman. As you can see, I've got my snowman like that. Then I probably want to put on some buttons. So since I know I have his face how I want it, let's go ahead and glue his eyes. I'm gonna put some glue here. Get some glue there. And this one, you don't need a lot of glue for these. You just need a little bit. I'm gonna kind of switch. So just kind of a dot of glue is about all that you're gonna find that you need for this one. Okay, that's a little better. And then I'm gonna do the nose. And with the nose, I'm gonna actually put the glue onto the paper. Just put my little dot of glue there. Bring it down. Okay, and then I'm gonna put a dot of glue for every square that's gonna make my smile. Just kind of push it into the cotton. Pretty cool. All right. Now I need some buttons. And I always like to use circles for my buttons. So once again, I've got my pencil and just my black scrap of paper. And I'm just gonna make 3 circles. And I'm just gonna hand do these. I'm just gonna kind of guesstimate. 1, 2, and 3. So I just write my 3 circles on there. Draw rather my 3 circles on there, and now I'm just going to cut them out. And remember, it absolutely does not have to be perfect. In fact, I kind of like it better when it's not. You can turn it upside down so that you don't have the side that has the pencil markings on it. Okay. There we go. There's my snowman. Looking good, snowman. Actually, I'm going to move this down just a little bit. Like that. And the reason I'm doing that is because I kind of want to give him a little scarf. So I have this really great light blue kind of teal color scrap of paper that I'm going to use. And I think what I'll do is just cut a rectangle out of it. I don't want it too wide. I'll just cut it across. So I know I want at least that much. So cut it like that. You really just want it far enough to go across his neck like this. You have to cut off a little bit of extra, that's fine. Don't worry if your edges aren't exactly perfect. Again, it gives your little snowman some character. And then from the leftover piece that I have, I'm going to cut that. I'm going to make it a little more even across the bottom, and I'm actually just going to cut it in half. You know how when you have a scarf, you always have those 2 pieces that are kind of hanging off? So I'm going to glue these 2 together. I'm going to put this one first. Kind of one of them going down like this. And put the other one going across this way. Oop, there we go. And then I'm just going to put some glue here for the scarf. If you get some glue where it doesn't belong, that's all right. Because the good news is it's all just going to dry nice and clear, and it won't matter. And just kind of manipulate it how you want it. All right. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here to kind of pull that paper down. There we go. There we go. All right, now I've got it going across my snowman. He looks great. All right, now something else is missing for my snowman. He doesn't have any arms, so we better fix that too. Once again, I'm gonna be using a scrap of this brown paper. Again, you can use any color you would like, and the easiest way to do it, I think, is gonna be just to make a rectangle. So I'm just gonna cut this straight down, and then I'm gonna cut this in half. You can use whatever size that you want, right there. So that's gonna be his arm, and as you can see, I don't need the whole piece going down because that's gonna be way too long. So I really only need it probably about halfway, maybe a little more than halfway. I think about that size will be good, like that. I'm gonna have him waving at me too. So for this one, I'm gonna cut this in half and in half. And then I really only need one of these. So I'll cut this in half too. And I need them for the little fingers. So let me get some glue on this guy. There we go. And then we're gonna get his little fingers going out. Put some on the back of him. I like to do 3 fingers. I don't know why. I just think it looks kind of cute. There. Pretty cool. You can see we've got our little snowman there waving at us. Now for the next arm coming down, we're going to need him about that length. So I'll just cut that. And he'll be coming down this way, just having his arm kind of down. So we'll go ahead and glue that guy. Try to kind of get it matched as best as you can on the other side. Okay. And then once again, you'll have leftover from that strip. So you can just cut it in half. And then cut the next one in half and use those as your fingers. And that'll look pretty cute. And again, this glue is nice because it can be kind of manipulated. So if you move your, excuse me, if you put your piece on there and it doesn't quite grab the way you want, you can kind of move it and kind of manipulate it a little bit and push it down into the glue. All right. So there we go. We've got our snowman. Now, if you want, you can stop here, but as you can see in my example, I also created the illusion of snow falling. For this, you're gonna need a little bit more cotton balls, but you're not gonna need probably more than 3 or 4, I'm not sure. And what you're gonna do is just put dots of glue on your paper. So I'm gonna put about maybe 3 just to start. And with this, you're gonna tear off little tiny pieces. So you just wanna grab a little bit and pull. So you just end up with this little tuft, And then you can just kind of stick that little tuft right on there. And then pull. And if you end up with kind of a super fluffy piece, that's all right. Just kind of fold it over and stick it on there. Just kind of pull. You can make them different sizes. You can make bigger ones, smaller ones, whatever you want to do. So just make some little dots. Anywhere that you want to see a little snowball, you just make a little dot and put your little snowball. So I got this little tuft over here. I'm going to put that one right there. It's going to dry nice and clear underneath them, so you won't really see the glue. So don't be afraid, you know, if you get kind of a thicker one, or if you get like a really, really thin one, that's okay. Don't feel like it has to be a big tuft of cotton ball, because it really doesn't. It can be a smaller piece. It doesn't matter. And I like it because it kind of gives the picture a little bit of a 3D shape as well, or a 3D effect, because the snow is kind of coming, or it looks like the snow is kind of coming forward at you, and I just think that's kind of neat. It's kind of a neat effect as well. with the little tufts. So just grab and pull. You might not even need more than one actually. Little snowball, because I mean this is the same one I've been working on and I barely even made a dent. Just keep pulling it. Getting my little tufts here. I kind of like this, it's kind of neat. I really feel like this is coming out pretty good. All right, and then across over here, we're gonna do the other side now. And just kind of random, however, if you've ever seen snowfall, it doesn't really have, you know, a pattern per se. It just kind of falls however it wants to fall. So you put your dots on there however you want to put them. There's no rhyme or reason, just stick it wherever, it doesn't matter. Sometimes they clump together, sometimes they don't. So you just do whatever you like. You just do whatever you like. Now the one thing I will say is that, you know, the glue will dry, not super fast, but it will. So you don't want to like put all these dots and then, you know, go do something else for a little bit. Once you put the dots on there, you do want to make sure you get your tufts on there. Just want to give you that side note because otherwise it will dry. The glue will dry. And you won't have enough glue for your dots to stick, so you'll have to do it again. And in the interest of not wasting any glue, there you go. Okay. Just kind of squish it together. I like to kind of make sort of bigger ones and smaller ones and in between size ones. Just pull them. You can kind of pull them and then just kind of roll them too. That kind of makes them almost rounder, like little snowballs. It's kind of cool to do that. There you go. Two more. All right. Last one. And there we go. Oh my goodness, and I love that. Ooh, if you get it on your fingers, you can just kind of do this and it'll pull the cotton and the glue kind of comes off. All right. And there you go. The cotton ball snowman craft. Hopefully yours looks kind of sort of something like that, and I look forward to seeing it. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys for sticking around and doing this craft with me. I'm so excited and I can't wait to see yours. So by all means, if you made this craft, please post it below, put it on Facebook. If you're watching this on Facebook or if you're watching this on YouTube, post it, comment, like, and subscribe to Tulare Public Library Facebook and to our new YouTube or newish YouTube page. I would love to see your crafts. We always love getting comments from you guys. If there's another type of craft that you want to see, let us know. And I will see you again soon next time with another fun craft. Bye!